All right, y'all. It's that time of year. There's no more baseball around. It's time to talk about which free agents the Padres could potentially target in this coming off season. I got my boy Sam with me. We're going to be talking about some free agents. We made a little list here. We're not going to go in the order of the list, but we are going to talk about each and every person on this list. Disclaimer, I'm not going to be talking about like Trey Turner, Carlos Correa, Aaron Judge, because those are pipe dreams. And if we want to get them, we cannot be focused on that fact. Ain't that right, Sam?
Oh yeah, terrible options, but we will toss our hat into the ring to increase the price.
Facts. But first off, we're gonna start with Brandon Nimmo from the New York Mets. Honestly, I personally like Brandon Nimmo. We need some offense in the outfield. I get it. We have Juan Soto. Jurickson Profar is gone, and I'm not looking to pay 18 million for Jurickson Profar or even someone like Jurickson Profar. I think about bringing Brandon Nimmo into the lineup. He would potentially bat leadoff for us. What do you think about Nimmo, Sam? I think he's a good option for us.
I think he is great. My one issue is that he, in his career, he's only played 2 full seasons, if I'm correct.
Hey, you can't be a Padre for not getting hurt. Um,
I,
Go
I
ahead.
just feel like I don't really see him as a Padre. He's one of those guys that it would be nice to have, but I feel like the Mets are going to extend that offer and offer him more money, and I don't see us re-signing him or signing him just due to the fact that sure you get an upgrade, but at that price, I would not personally. I wouldn't want him,
Yeah,
but
cost is a big thing. I get that.
he is one of the big pieces on the outfield market, and which is not saying much, unfortunately, this year.
Yeah, outside of Aaron Judge, you really do get a steep drop off in the outfield position. I mean, that's why you're going to see a lot of players getting overpaid, and I agree with that. But an 800 OPS does sound nice to have paired with Juan Soto and Tatis, you know? And don't forget about the MVP, Manny Machado. But I get that. So let's go on over to another Met. How about Jacob DeGrom, baby? And I know I said I wouldn't want any pipe dreams, right? But please hear me out here. All right. Jacob DeGrom is a stud. I mean, he is a living god when it comes to pitching. I get it. He gets injured all the time. And I know you personally don't like him just because of that fact and his injury history. But you cannot tell me you would not want the greatest pitcher of our generation pitching for the San Diego Padres. Come on now. You can't play me right now.
My problem is age and injury history.
3.08 ERA though.
This man is 36 and heading on to 37, who has who throws heat
34 turning on to 35.
34 30 on to 25. I was a year off. But he I he when his stuff is going, no one can hit him. But the problem is we only saw him 12 starts last year?
Yeah, 11.
11 starts, but and even then when he came in, he kind of had the home run bug going for a bit.
A lot of the runs he was giving up were on solo shots, but I mean, 64 innings, 102 strikeouts last year. His career, he has 1,600 strikeouts. I get it, he is up in age, but it seems like more and more pitchers are lasting longer. Look at Verlander. Well, most likely AL Cy Young, Verlander. Look at Clayton Kershaw. He's still going well. The older they get, it's not like they're throwing 150 pitches a game anymore. You see a lot of pitchers getting pulled at 95, 100. It's letting them last longer, giving them more opportunities later in the season. And I think that's really going to help Jacob DeGrom. I get it, the injury history is impacting him, but the fact that he has that strikeout stuff, and if you could add him to the rotation with Darvish, Snell, and Musgrove, that could be the best pitching staff in the major leagues.
I would love a single year deal, but he is not going to go for a single year
Yeah, he
deal.
he ain't taking no discounts, especially not for a team that he's never played for. He wouldn't take a discount for the Mets, let alone the Padres.
A single year deal would be my ideal situation if they were to get the Grom, just because the man throws heat. The problem, kind of like Scherzer, where it's a taxed arm, just due to the fact of what he throws. I get it. When he's pitching, he is the best pitcher, but the best thing to have is availability. We got lucky this year that none of our starting pitchers really got hurt.
True, that's true. And especially $43 million a year is what's projected for Degrom. I just don't know if the Padres have that, to be honest, especially with the amount they've been spending. And I get it, the Padres have shown that they want to be big spenders, but there has to be a limit. You
There
can't,
there has to be a line in the sand.
yeah, you can't be the New York Yankees of the 2000s or the 90s. There has to be a line. But let's move on from Jacob Degrom. How about we go and talk about a first baseman in New York? I'm not talking about Pete Alonso because that would be insane and he's not even available. But let's talk about Anthony Rizzo, right? He's shown to have big power numbers this year. He has been big impact and he is a plus defender at the first base side. How are you feeling about Rizzo?
If I had to take a pick for first baseman, that's who I would want. I mean, his cost is gonna be a little bit up there, but you know what you're getting. He's been in the postseason. In my opinion, I believe he took over the New York Yankees club. He became the de facto leader when he was there, and that man can slug.
A good veteran presence to have. He's won a championship. He knows what it takes to win. You're gonna add another guy who has been into the postseason, been in big games, played in big situations, to a lineup that has Juan Soto, who has been in that, but he's still young. I think you do need that veteran leadership alongside Manny Machado, because even Manny Machado himself hasn't won. But Anthony Rizzo can really help and drive the team towards that. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. The problem is, last time we went for this, it did not end well.
Hey, what you mean? Don't disrespect Eric Hot. No, I can't even say it, bro. God, Eric Hosmer. But the thing is, I don't think we're gonna get into an 8-year contract with Rizzo.
No,
Rizzo, we're
if
probably looking at a two year,
I would
$36
say
million
three.
deal at most.
I would say a 3 year is probably what he wants.
Most likely. I mean, he doesn't have much time left.
But he's 33,
33 now.
34.
Yeah, 33.
I
Yeah,
can see
I
us.
see 18 million a year. 3 years is a stretch. I don't know about 54 million's a lot. 2 years, 36. I would be comfortable with because
Oh, I would too, but I think he would want a 3 year. That's the thing.
that is the thing. Uh, it's gonna be rough. Anthony Rizzo is definitely on one of my the top of my list in terms of free agent I want to go after, but it has to be for the right price.
Yeah, of course.
Um, Now we do have to talk about the elephant in the room. All right, Nick Martinez. We gotta resign him, right? Am I the only one thinking this?
I'm thinking 12, 12.5, 13 million a year for 3 years would be ideal. Kind of similar, so he can kind of line up with the Suarez contract.
You'd
That
pay
would
him more
be
than Suarez. That's a lot for a reliever.
the
Robert
thing
Suarez
is,
got 9 million a year, and that's a lot. And to give
I would
another
not
reliever
pay
that
more than
much,
12 and a half just because he's going to want the starting pitching. Because he is the utility man that helped us through the regular season.
that's
And
the
he
thing. But how
came
much can
in.
you value that at? Like I get it, the ability to start games is nice, but can you pay him like a starting pitcher? Because I still think you have to pay him like a reliever. I'm thinking more of a $7.5 million deal, and that's high for a reliever.
Maybe
You're
with
not looking to,
incentives.
yeah, maybe if you put some incentives in there, like oh, if he starts X amount of games, he makes X more money. But without that, you can't be overpaying like that on a reliever. You got to save some money for the position players, the everyday players, and that's where the area of need is.
My issue is that knowing how sports in general are going, everything is going to go up in price.
Right.
I mean, there's not that much relieving pitching left in terms of free agents. I'm sure you can always trade them. I know Preller has a great eye for picking up whoever from wherever, but I just feel like the team loves his energy, and I think that's worth probably an extra million, so maybe 10.
I,
I just think
I
it's hard to
just
put a price on the multi tool. That's the issue.
exactly. What do you pay a utilitarian? It's a jack of all trades, master of none type of situation.
He was finding a lot of success later in the year,
He was.
which
But
was good. And if he were to sign with the Padres again, I think he would only get better since he would have a whole off season and spring training to get more acquainted with our pitching staff and pitching coaches.
yeah, I get that. And it seems like he's been real good friends with the other pitchers. So he's really making a home for him. But let's go back to the outfield. All right. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Jock Peterson. The man with the pearls who hits all the bombs in the world. You liking Jock Peterson over in San Diego? After all the things he did to us when he was on the Dodgers and the Giants?
No, due to the fact that I believe we would have to give up uh what's it called? $1 million in the pool and two draft picks, if I'm correct.
For Jock Peterson?
I believe so.
Really? I did not know that. I thought if he rejects his qualifying offer, he just becomes a free agent.
I think it was within a certain time frame. I could be wrong.
Okay, because I'm not too sure of that, and I wouldn't even know how to look that up, to be honest. Because like I get it, he's big, big power hitter, gives you great at bats, but only against righties. He does. He is lacking somewhat in the lefty department. He really can't hit lefties. He's a righty only type. He's a batter that can only play against righties. Which I mean, that's a good thing because most pitchers are righties, but kind
Not
of
in our
puts you in a
division.
hole. Not in our division, especially not on the Dodgers. Seems like everyone
Yep,
on the Dodgers was a lefty. I swear. What was 4 out of 5 pitches we faced were lefties on the Dodgers?
I
That was
believe
rough.
so. I don't
I
know.
don't see anything that would require us to give up any consolation to the Giants,
I could have
but
mixed it up someone else, but I don't know. The bats there. I'm not a big fan of the defense.
yeah, the defense is lacking. But I mean, I'll take it if it gets me 25 home runs. You know? That's what it's about. Give me home runs. Give me production. I need slug, bro. We cannot just be nickel and diming teams all day, every day. All right.
I Our slug is coming back next year.
I hope so. I hope he plays up to the task. But I get it. You wanted more defense, right? So what about
I
Andrew
want more.
Benintendi then?
I I think he would be probably worth what, 8 million a year.
No, he's gonna be worth more than that. He's a 300 hitter, bro. He had a great year
Ugh.
this year, going before he went to the Yankees, and I think he's gonna earn a paycheck. This is the time he's gonna collect. Cause what he just turned 28. This is his big money time. He just got paid
Okay.
8.5 million before this. I'm thinking he's wanting. He might want 20 million a year. He might want a long
Yeah,
term
it's
deal. Honestly,
market value's looking like at 17 right now.
I believe it.
Ugh.
I could see him getting a bag this offseason. I could see him honestly getting 5 years, 20 million a year. I mean, it has to be the right team that offers that, but it's definitely a possibility, especially with how good he's been.
My issue is that would coincide with a lot of bad timing for the Padres.
It'll hurt. It'll definitely hurt. I believe that.
Because if that happens, we're not keeping a lot of people.
Yeah, you Darvish and Snell, I believe their contracts are up next year.
They are after next year.
Nola
They
as well. I mean, Nola, I'm not really stressing about retaining Nola, but yeah, it'll hurt with Ben. But you got to make you got to make sacrifices at some point. And the Padres have seen their pitching staff to be a strong suit. I don't imagine they would want to give that up. So maybe not a Benintendi. They don't want to keep signing these long term deals, locking their money up. Then what about Mitch Haniger? Maybe a prove it deal. If
I'm
we
a
don't want
lot more on board with that one.
we don't want to do a lot. If we don't want to get locked up, we sign Mitch Haniger. He is a plus defender. He can give us maybe 2 years. I don't know. I think his market value would be about 15 million a year. 2 years, 30 million. I would give Mitch Haniger that in a
Let me
heartbeat,
see the
especially when healthy. He slugs. He hits bombs when he's healthy. A lot of these
estimated
players,
around 15 million a year.
yeah, that sounds about right for Mitch Haniger. A lot of players, man, in this free agency, it seemed like they have the injury bug around them, and I think that's what the Padres need to take advantage of. It's kind of like a high risk, high reward situation right now. We try to secure these players for lower end deals because we're trying to save some money, conserve it, trying to re-sign those big pitchers later on. Am I wrong in this?
You are not wrong. Plus, the big elephant in the room is going to want a shit ton of money
Yeah, Juan Soto, man, that we kind of put
and the
ourselves.
possibility of Manny wanting to redo his contract.
I don't think he redoes it. I really don't. I mean, we gave him 10 years, 300 million. There's no way because he wants to win. I think at this point he
He
already
wants to
secured his
win,
money.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna want to boost it up to a $40 million
No, I
contract.
don't think he would want the 40 million. I think he would probably want probably a more incentive bonus because I mean he is in his prime, and the last two out of 3 years he is MVP finalist.
You have to remember though, baseball contracts are fully guaranteed. I don't think they really have incentive bonuses. It's not like the NFL or the NBA. So when you sign that baseball contract, baby, you're getting every dollar out of that.
Well, plus he's getting what, an extra 2 million guaranteed a year as well, or something like that.
I believe so.
Yeah, something like that.
But Mitch Haniger is definitely a big option I would consider for the Padres. I would
For the right
honestly
price.
love him in the outfield. It would be a nice mix of talent out there. Now, I'm going to give this one to you, right? You wanted to talk about him. I didn't really because I already put my picture on there, but go ahead. Tell me about Carlos Rodon, Sam.
I have been a big fan ever since his White Sox days, but sure he kind of had the injury bug during his White Sox days. That's why he did sign that 1 year prove it deal with the Giants. But if he's asking for something similar to Joe, 23 million a year for 5 years, that I think that's great because it adds a little bit of security if, let's say, Snell wants more or the market goes higher next year, you have that backup option of Rodon. Not to mention, look at his stats this year,
Dominant. I mean, he's been a dominant pitcher this year. That's without a doubt.
and he was
But
not hurt this year either.
he's young, man. Like he's going to need a fat contract. I honestly think Joe Musgrove took kind of a hometown discount, to be honest.
That's why I said 25 million a year. 25, 26 and a half, somewhere around that. If we can get him for that price, that opens up. Like, let's say if we did sign the Grom, I would not be a fan of that price. But if we did sign Rodon for 25, 26 and a half, somewhere around there for 5 years, 4 years, I think that'll be great. Um, just good insurance. He killed us last year. He knows us. It would
Yeah,
be kind of
that's an
kind
understatement.
of a shame to see him go to a different team, especially a playoff team that we might not want to face again.
All I'm gonna say is if we somehow manage to get Rodon, that just adds another wrinkle into the bullpen. And I think he's our second guy. He might even be our ace. Honestly, him and Darvish are like 1 and 2.
Darvish is our workhorse.
It is. And that's a deep pitching rotation if you could get Rodon, man. You got 4 pitchers. I would be comfortable with starting it at Game 7.
As we saw what happened this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, the Clevenger Mania thing did not work out. Hopefully, Rodon could continue to be Carlos Rodon if we were able to get him. Um, let's. Okay, so you explain to me this situation because I don't understand what's going on with Cody Bellinger. You got to tell me what's going on with Cody Bellinger.
I believe the Dodgers could just let him go, let him walk. I believe that's what the
So
contract
I did
is.
see that. Yes, I agree with that. They can let him go because I think he's afforded 18 million and he's not here for that. Or he's not. The Dodgers are not here to pay 18 million for a Cody Bellinger, especially with the production he's had. Continue.
hmm So if that were to happen, I honestly I see them keeping him because that's who the Dodgers are.
Dodgers spend money, man.
They'll eat the money so someone else can't get him.
Exactly. They do that a lot.
I mean, if he were to get loose, I think he'd be a great pickup. Stick him left or center field. You got a gold glove level defender. At worst, you have that. At best, you have MVP version of him.
If you have an MVP Cody Bellinger and you got him on a $15 million deal, you got the steal of a century.
If that were to happen, honestly, I don't see it happening, but that is my pipe dream for the outfield.
The modern day Bellinger, you're lucky if he hits his weight. I mean, it's been
He'll still hit 20
unfortunate,
home
dude.
runs.
Yeah, but so what? He weighs 230. He's not gonna hit 230. That's a problem, man.
Hey, the shift is gone next year.
Oh, you're right. The shift is gone. Eric Hosmer MVP season next year. I promise. Book it. Guaranteed.
That is my pipe dream for the outfield, but a lot of things have to happen. It isn't as easy as signing a free agent.
And lastly, let's talk about the guy everyone's talking about in the international pool. Senga, right? I don't even remember his last name or his first name, to be honest. Kodai Senga.
Yes,
Kodai Senga has been loved, and I mean loved. Everyone loves his stuff. He throws 96-mile-per-hour fastball, and everyone says he has the best splitter coming out of Japan. Shohei Ohtani throws a splitter. And they're saying Kodai Senga has better splitter. But please tell me about Kodai Senga in Japan, please.
I believe he threw a perfect game. I could be wrong.
Did he really? He threw a
I think he
perfect game?
did.
I feel like I read that somewhere.
Double check that. Or you double check that. Yeah, but I mean, if we resign Nick Martinez, if anyone fits into the Padres as a starting pitcher, it's him. He was teammates with Suarez and Martinez in the Japanese league. And
they tell me the Padres and AJ Preller have been playing the long game this entire time.
The long game this entire time. And who do all the Japanese pitchers look up to?
You Darvish, baby.
Exactly. I just feel like he would get along great with the pitching staff. His stuff is nasty, and he's not going to be expensive as Rodon or DeGrom.
He has not pitched a perfect game, but he does have a no-hitter.
That's what it was. Okay.
Incredible. This dude's a monster. And he actually won gold in the 2020 Olympics against the U.S. He did not give up a run in 2 games against the U.S.
That says a lot.
This dude's a monster, man. But, I mean, I think those are our free agent targets for the Padres. What are you thinking?
I think so, too.
Any quick names you can think of off the top of your head that you want to drop?
Drury for the right price.
Yeah.
As a utility man.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's about it.
All right. Well, I hope the Padres can sign any one of these players, man. I mean, we need to bring someone home. We want to ride to the World Series, baby.
Pitching is what we need the most.
Hey,
if
you know
what?
Go ahead.
If we can only get one position, I will take a pitcher.
Hey, you know what? We got the biggest free agent coming back next year. Fernando Tatis Jr., baby. Let's ride.
Hey, stick him left field.
Hey, Broncos country, baby. Let's ride.